to a lower body workout. We're going to be working in a circuit of 5 exercises today. We're going to repeat the circuit 3 times. You're probably fine to grab a heavy set of dumbbells for today's workout. And when you're ready, feel free to just start in standing. We are going to work through just a quick little warm up here, so feel free to start by just connecting to the mat, sweeping your hands up towards the ceiling or the sky, crawling the fingertips down the front of the legs. Nice drape and forward fold. When timing feels right, feel free to just reverse that idea. So starting to trace the fingertips back up the front of the legs, nice big arm sweep. Pressing those hands down by the sides again, and crawling fingertips down the front of the legs. Nice little breath and forward fold, maybe top of the head releases. And again, just maybe starting to trace the fingertips slowly up the front of the legs. We're gonna do that one more time. So nice big arm sweep up. Again, pressing those hands with intention down by the sides, crawling fingertips down the front of the legs. Nice big drape. Maybe just taking an extra breath in that forward fold. And then feel free to just start to maybe heel toe the feet apart so you're in more of like a straddle position. And then maybe just starting to gently bend the knees, working from side to side. If those toes decide they want to wander wide, that's totally fine. They do not have to directly face maybe that long edge of your mat. Maybe just pay attention though as I say that to just maybe the direction the knee is heading, making sure it's headed out more so over baby toe side of the foot, opening up the inner thighs. And when you're ready, feel free to just arrive maybe back at center. If the feet did happen to wander and toes are pointed more open, feel free now to intentionally line them up with that long edge of the mat. From here, just another drape. So taking an opportunity to just find our way into more of a wide-legged forward fold. Nice stretch down the backs of the legs. Maybe connecting the blades of the feet or those edges of the feet to the mat. And then feel free to just TP your right fingers out in front. Maybe just starting to draw the left fingers up that right arm, opening towards the left. When you're ready, those left fingers maybe coming back towards the floor, replacing the right. That nice almost bow and arrow, style drag of the right fingers up towards the ceiling or the sky. Maybe letting the eyeballs follow those right fingers. And again, we're gonna head back to that left side. So right fingers coming in, TPing, replacing the left, opening to the left. One more time back to that right side. So left fingers coming in to replace the right, opening up. And then feel free to allow that right hand to just come in to land beside the left. Let's heel toe the feet a little bit closer together, maybe about hip distance apart. From here, let's roll onto the balls of the feet or the tippy toes, bending the knees down into like a little baby sissy style squat. And then pressing through the balls of the feet to lift the hips, landing the heels. And again, rolling onto the blades of the balls of the feet, sorry, not the blades, the balls of the feet. Bending the knees. Again, connecting down through balls of the feet, landing the heels. Little forward fold. One more. So rolling onto the balls of the feet, bending the knees. Last time, connecting down through balls of the feet, landing those heels. One more nice drape and forward fold. And then when you're ready, feel free to just start that nice, slow, intentional draw up to stand. So gently unraveling that spine. When you arrive in standing, feel free to just unloop those shoulders. And then let's grab for that set of dumbbells. We're gonna start our circuit with a nice wide-legged, stiff leg deadlift. So almost back to that straddle position we were in for a little part of warm-up. Dumbbells hanging down in front of the legs, hanging very heavy in the hands. When you're ready, feel free to find a nice hinge forward, and then squeezing through the glutes to draw those dumbbells back up to the top of the movement. So inhaling to hinge, sending those sit bones back. Exhale, squeeze the glutes. Opportunity here to really connect into the heel and blades or outer edges of the feet, firmly connecting them down to the floor, down into your mat. Maybe avoiding any sort of temptation to want to pull on the dumbbells with your hands or your upper body. Leave that work to the lower body, to the glutes. We're here for 3 more. Inhaling to hinge, exhale, squeeze the glutes. Once again, and 1 more. All right, from here, sticking with this idea of our stiff leg deadlift, we're just gonna tighten stance. So bringing those feet nice and close, almost so that big toes maybe touch. Dumbbells hanging out heavy again in front of the legs. Here we go, inhaling to hinge, sending those hips straight back behind. Exhale, squeeze. So inhale to hinge, exhale, squeeze. So maybe just recommitting down through the feet. Maybe focus is on the heel of the foot here. That ability to connect to that full posterior chain, feeling those hamstrings. Keeps reaching those sit bones, sending those sit bones way back behind on that hinge. Here for 3 more, nice and controlled. Inhale, hinge, exhale, squeeze. Dumbbells hanging very heavy in the hands. 1 more. Awesome job. Set your dumbbells down. And let's make our way into a high plank position. We're gonna do just a little interlude here with a set of mountain climbers. So connecting the palms of the hands to the mat, maybe stepping the feet back. Whenever you're ready, drawing 1 knee to the chest, place the toes back, next knee comes in. Place the toes back. So I'm gonna continue to work just maybe a little bit slower with this climber. Lots of control, really looking to activate the abdominals. If you do want to turn this into more of a running climber and pick up tempo, elevating that heart rate, feel free. Choice is yours. Continuing to maintain just that nice strong position in our plank, so connecting down through palms of the hands, pressing that mat or that floor away from us. Well done. Feel free to land the knees, making our way all the way down onto our back. Maybe 1 dumbbell can travel with you. We're gonna set up for a glute bridge. So if you can comfortably place your dumbbell just across your pelvis, feel free. As far as foot position, maybe just do a check-in and make sure that you can graze your heel with the tips of your fingers. Connect the feet. Here we go. We're gonna press those hips up. Inhale to release the hips. Exhale, once again, pressing right back up to the top of that bridge. Maybe similar to the feeling of our stiff leg deadlift. See if you can connect a little bit deeper to the heel of the foot. Again, just really trying to activate that whole posterior chain, back of the body. We want to resist the urge to arch that low back, so maybe think about just closing the space between the lower part of that rib cage and those front hip points. Squeezing the glutes at the peak or the top of that bridge, controlling the way back down. 2 more. Feel free to comfortably release down, lay on that low back. Maybe that dumbbell can go aside. And then feel free to just take a second, draw the knees into the chest. Maybe just let that low back release. And then whenever you're ready, feel free to maybe just flip yourself through or flip yourself over. It doesn't really matter. As long as we arrive in tabletop position together, that's the main thing. So hands beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips. We're going to extend the right leg nice and long, reaching through the tips of those right toes, and then just lifting and lowering that back right leg. So exhale to lift, inhale to lower. I don't want this to be rushed. I want us to find lots of control on that lift as well as the lower. Really activating that right glute, our front shoulder points and front hip points square to the mat beneath us, connecting down through palms of the hands. Gonna do another 5, and then same thing with that left leg. So last one, and bring that right knee in underneath the hip. We're gonna shift, reaching long through left toes. Here we go, lifting and lowering. So again, exhaling on that lifter, that activation. Inhale as we lower just until we feel the top of that left foot touch the mat. Maybe feel yourself look down, but towards the top of your mat, just so that we maintain that nice long line from top of the head, out through tailbone, maybe all the way out through the tips of those left toes. Let's do another 5. Reach along through those left toes. Try and think about maybe making that left leg a little bit longer, picking up through the belly button. Last one. Feel free to land that in. If you want to take a moment in child's pose, feel free. So just settling the hips down and back, maybe walking the fingertips out away from the body, letting the chest melt. Little pause. And then when you're ready, feel free to draw your way maybe back up to stand. Take time to grab a drink. Maybe just reorganizing your space a little bit. Make sure we have dumbbells ready. And we will make our way back through that again. So that quick drink, I'm gonna wipe a little sweat from my face here. And then we are back with that wide-legged stiff leg deadlift. So feel free to set up in more of that straddle style stance, connecting to the heels, blades of the feet, dumbbells again, really heavy in the hands. Here we go. Inhale to hinge, exhale, squeeze. Inhale, hinge, exhale, squeeze. So working our way up to 15 repetitions here. I'm gonna move maybe just a little bit quicker this second time through. I want you to continue to think about reaching those sit bones back behind, controlling those dumbbells down towards the floor. They do not have to touch, just towards. And then really activating through the glutes, squeezing nice and firmly to draw yourself and those dumbbells back up to stand. Here for 3 more. So last one, reach those hips back, squeeze, well done, step the feet nice and tight. Same idea, different foot position. Here we go. Inhale, hinge, exhale, squeeze. So still thinking about really reaching those sit bones back behind, finding lots of length down the back of the leg. I'm maintaining just a slight softness, at the knee. So the shape of the leg doesn't change. It stays the same, but the knee joint shouldn't be locked. There should be just a little bit of what I call working bend there. Those dumbbells really just tracing up and down the fronts of the legs. Dumbbells hanging very heavy in the hands as well. Here for 2 more. Awesome job. So dumbbells can go down to the floor, making our way into that high plank, setting up for mountain climbers. So connect the balls of the feet, connect the hands, high plank position. Here we go. Drawing one knee in, place the toes back. Next knee comes in, again placing the toes back. So alternating from side to side. Again, choice is yours. If you do want to make this more of a running climber idea. My preference for today is just trying to activate and be a little bit more thoughtful with the activation of my core. But if you want to kick it up a notch, a running climber is totally suitable here as well. Again, just continuing to activate the front body, so pressing that mat or that floor away from you. Tucking that tailbone maybe, if the bum wants to pike, picking up through the belly button. One more. And feel free to land the knees. Flipping through, making our way down onto our back to that dumbbell weighted glute bridge. So maybe grabbing one dumbbell, connecting the feet, doing that little check-in. Just make sure we can graze the heel with the tips of our fingers. When you're ready, feel free to activate down through the soles of the feet, I should say, maybe in particular the heels. Inhaling as we lower the hips, exhale, connecting to the mat, pressing back up. Maybe continuing to think about drawing that belly button down and just shortening that space between the lower part of our rib cage and those front hip points. That's going to help us resist the urge to want to arch that low back. Again, that nice little squeeze of the glutes at the top or peak of the movement, controlling the descent. Let's go one more. Feel free to land that low back down. We can drop off our dumbbell. Time for maybe that big hug. Knees can come in. Maybe there's that friendly little kind of wiggle from side to side. And then once again, finding your way to tabletop position. That could be just a flop right over. I'm going to flip through. So palms of the hands hopefully connect beneath the shoulders. Knees beneath the hips. Let's start with left leg first this time. So reaching those left toes long back behind for setup. When you're ready, exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. So just bringing the mind back into tabletop here. Again, picking up through the belly button. Resisting kind of the desire or urge to want to arch the low back. That back leg doesn't have to reach for the sky or the stars. Really just bringing it until it's level with hip height, so we get that little squeeze in the base of the glute, reaching long through the toes. Feeling activation through the front body, again by maintaining that strong tabletop. Last two. And feel free to land that left knee in. Right side, here we go. So maybe square or tidy up your position, starting with that lift and lower. Maybe tune into where you're looking, just making sure that you're not tempted to gawk up at the screen or kind of peek up like this. We want just a tuck of the chin, eyeballs down on the mat. Want that nice long line from top of the head once again, out through tailbone, maybe even out through right toes. Just recommit down through palms of the hands, recommit to picking up through the belly button, recommit to reaching long through right toes. One more. Well done. Bring the knee in. Again, maybe back to child's pose. Just a nice kind of counter stretch. And whenever you're ready, feel free to come on back up to standing. Take time to hydrate. Again, maybe just tidying that space a little bit. Fix your clothing. And we'll jump back in for one final round. So once again, setting up with more of that straddle style foot position. So feet nice and wide, toes facing forward, connect the heels, connect the blades of the feet. Here we go. Inhale to hinge, exhale, squeeze. I'm going to try and move at a similar tempo to round two. So just steady, but certainly not feeling rushed. Maintaining that nice flat back position as we enter into that hinge. not letting the weight of those dumbbells round our shoulders forward. Just maybe go there for a second, draw your shoulder blades down your back. We don't want them to round towards the floor with the weight of the dumbbells. One more deadlift. Awesome job. Tighten up the feet. Again, just reconnect down through heels. Here we go. Inhale, hinge. Exhale, squeeze. So probably definitely feeling a lot more hamstring activation with a tighter foot position, tighter stance. Not a bad thing, means you're doing it right. Thinking about lengthening out those hamstrings every single time we send the hips back, every single time we hinge, and then contracting the muscles back there, drawing us and those dumbbells back up to the top of our position, back up to standing. One more. All right, so dumbbells to the floor. We're finding that high plank position next. So connecting hands, connecting toes, balls of the feet. Here we go, draw one knee in, doesn't matter which one. And then next one comes in. So either you're very intentional walking climber like mine, or again, kicking it up with more of that running climber idea. Either way, we're strong down through palms of the hands, still picking up through that belly button, tucking that tailbone down. Continuing to move mindfully. Let's do another 4, 2 a side. And feel free to land it. Well done. Making your way down onto your back. Almost there, you guys. So grab one dumbbell. Again, if it will comfortably lay across the pelvis, that's awesome. If not, you can work without the dumbbell as well. Maybe check in if you need to with the tips of the fingers and the heels. Here we go. Pressing down through the feet. Lifting those hips. So nice big set. We are here for 20. Lots of feel, lots of activation in the glutes before we go to our finishing tabletop exercise. Maybe continuing to draw that belly button down, thinking about that rib to hip connection, that space. Another 4. And feel free to land it down, lay on that low back, drop that dumbbell off. Again, making time for just that nice big hug, releasing low back, and then flipping over or flipping through. I'm gonna flip through again. One last time, setting up that tabletop. So hands beneath shoulders, knees beneath the hips. You can pick whatever leg you want to start with this time. I'm going to go back to right leg when you're ready. Exhale to lift. Inhale, feeling the top of whatever foot you chose to take on the move, feeling for it to just graze the mat or the floor. Exhale, lifting again. As we work through these this one last time, just maybe thinking about both directions, both parts of this kind of subtle little movement. So again, we're typically fairly active on that lift. Just be equally as active on the lower. Resist gravity. Resist the urge to just want to let the foot fall back to the mat. You get to be in charge. You get to place it there. So just moving with lots of control. Again, lots of grace, lots of integrity. One more. Feel free to land that knee in. Again, just any sort of reposition. Maybe pick up through the belly button. Again, close the gap between ribs and hips. Got a bug. All right, here we go. So lifting and lowering. And maybe coming right back into that idea of both parts of that subtle little motion being equally important. So not just being extremely active on the lift, equally as active, equally as intentional on the lower. Maybe just scan your tabletop position one more time. So not dumping down into the hands or the wrist or the front of the body. Connect, press away. Reach long through tips of the toes, lengthening that leg. One more. Awesome job, you guys. Bring that knee in. We'll finish with, again, just another nice big child's pose. Muchly deserved. Reaching those hips back towards the heels. Once again, crawling those fingertips away. Maybe the chest can really melt. Maybe the forehead lands. Just taking a couple nice deep breaths. I'm going to make my way just up to kneeling. Thank you so much for joining me, you guys, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.